I'm making another album, and since I last spoke to you, the only experience pretty much that I've had in the studio, anyway, when working on the album, has been frustration. Incredible frustration. And I don't know what it is about technical difficulties and sort of things going wrong, but they always seem to happen like more when you're on deadline. I'm sure that isn't the case. I'm sure what it is that it just becomes, you kind of remember those moments much more. But essentially in the last 3 pieces that I've worked on, I've completely attempted to turbo cycle through them, but for various different boring problems, sort of one problem in each that I've found in the pieces. Like, for instance, the one that I worked on yesterday immediately after I recorded my album podcast. That one, for some reason, I couldn't work out why one of the parts was it seemed to be out of time with the metronome, even though it didn't look like it was. And other things seemed to be out of time with it, and it was very, very strange. Anyway, I never actually worked out what was going on, because my solution in these situations isn't I don't have to know what went wrong, particularly when I'm on deadline. All I need to do is figure it out, not figure it out, but find a solution to the problem to get it in time. So what I ended up doing was just exporting, because it was coming out of a plugin, the sound. So I just ended up exporting the audio and then getting it in time that way. But that basically took me about 45 minutes longer than I was expecting. Number one, because I was bashing my head against it, and then because I had to do various different faffs to get the audio out and then make sure get it in time and everything. So that was just one example, and literally the other 2 sessions that I've done since have had something similar. Just now I'm exporting a bounce of one of the tracks that I've been working on, and it took me again an hour and a half session rather than the half an hour or the 20 minutes that I'm looking to do while turbo cycling. So I've been feeling pretty darn frustrated. But the one thing, and I mean, in the past, this may have sent me into a bit of a funk in general, which wouldn't serve me well. But really the one ray of light that I've had is my Make an Album with Mike team, the group who are also making an album. I can't tell you what a difference. I mean, I've never made an album with other people in this way before. This is obviously a new experience to me, and I can't tell you what a difference having that group around me and us around each other, like having this, we're all doing the same thing and we're all hitting the same deadline, and we're all familiar with, we're all having similar problems, not all exactly at the same time. I mean, we've all got the problem of, I've got a deadline just about to hit. You've all got that problem, but not all exactly the same problems at the same time. But you just can't get past the fact that even if you're introvert, and being with groups of people saps your energy, you can't get past the fact that we are social creatures as human beings. And we were made, like our brains were made to work in small groups. I mean, that's how we work best. I can't tell you what a difference this has made, because it was this morning. So I did the session I was talking about earlier with the thing that was out of time. So I did that yesterday afternoon. It's pretty much the last thing I did. Then early this morning, I had my Make an Album with Mike session, where I did a little exercise with them where we kind of went through what the positives were of working on an album, even if you don't release it. Yeah, and just thinking about all of the great things that have come from it in the last 3 months, which was fantastic. Obviously, when I do these things with them, when I get them to do them, I do it myself as well, and that set the whole thing off on a very positive note. And then we listened to some of the music of the group and had a few great conversations with various different people. And it just really, I mean, I can't, it's sort of hard to describe what a massive difference it's made to this kind of a situation. Because there have been times in the past, I'll confess, when I've been completing albums and it's been, getting up to the wire on the deadline, and then something goes wrong which wastes a couple of hours, and then it's almost like you have a problem about the problem, because you're now in a kind of a very negative frame of mind. You're kind of rushing around, so you're not sort of doing things properly. You're not really doing much of anything, and you just, you can just spiral out of control. That's happened a number of different times. Whereas this time, it hasn't happened at all. It was like that kind of ray of light completely kind of reset everything. And then for the rest of today, even though I've worked on another couple of tunes with similar problems, just that kind of interaction with a group, it's almost like a suit of armor through it. So I've just been very calm and just getting on with it and problem solving, and it's been an absolute it's just been a game changer for me. So I'm really excited now. Buses come in threes, problems come in threes. So I cannot imagine that the next piece that I have to work on, which I'm going to work on after dinner, I'm going to go into the house now and cook dinner for the boys and Sally, and then come back in here for a couple of hours. I don't usually do that. I don't usually work in the evenings, but because I'm on deadline, I've cleared it with Sally, so she's kindly putting the boys to bed. I'm not watching anything with the boys. With the older boys, I'm watching various different Star Wars things at the moment, which is great. It's one of my dreams. It's always been one of my dreams, because I was massive Star Wars. I actually watched the first Star Wars film at the cinema, and I've just been obsessed with it for years. So it's been one of my dreams to watch Star Wars with my boys. So I've been watching The Mandalorian with them. But anyway, we're putting that on hold for now. Really a cliffhanger moment, so that Daddy can finish his album. So I'm going to come back in here, and I can't imagine what is the next track. Oh, it is a bit of a tricky one, actually. It's a bit of a tricky one, but I don't think I'm going to have the same kind of technical problems that I had with the last one. And I mean, the great thing is my deadline. I've made my, I've pushed, as I said yesterday, I've pushed my deadline by a few days, 4 days, to the next Make an Album with Mike, the final Make an Album, well, the final for the first group anyway, because I'm going immediately on to do another one, but the first Make an Album with Mike group, the final thing where we talk about release. So I've got that to look forward to as well, and I can't wait to celebrate with everyone there. So hopefully when I talk to you tomorrow on, I think it's it will be 6 days to go, or 5 days to go. I can't work it out. But anyway, hopefully when I talk to you tomorrow, I will have some better news. I won't be talking about how the Make an Album with Mike team saved me from certain ruin. Instead, I'll be talking to you about the amazing insights and joy that I've got from working on a couple more tunes, because I've got 2 hours this evening. I'm going to see if I can. Let's see if I can. They are tricky ones, though. They're on the tricky half. There's an easy half and a tricky half at the moment on the album with the way it's going. So I'm going to see if I can do 4 sessions, but I'll be happy if I get through 3 in that 2 hours, because also it's the end of the day and my brain is a little bit. So, with all that said, I better stop talking about making an album so I can carry on making one.